Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, thanks, Jim. It's always good to be on the show.
What's the latest from American Manganese?
Well, we put out a press release yesterday that we've contracted with Cometco to do the second phase of research, which includes the development of 3 new patentable IPs and a pilot plant. And the program's going to last anywhere from 12 to 15 months. And we're well financed for that. So that's a big stepping stone for the company once you get the pilot plant, show that it can work on a continuous basis. And what does a pilot plant really mean? Well, the pilot plant is really the area where if you have any blockage in your system, if you have any weakness in your system, you pick it up in the pilot plant stage, so you're not shutting down production in the commercial stage to fix problems that are going to be very costly. So the pilot plant's a necessary part of our program. It's certainly necessary in the mining that we've done before. We've done many pilot plants, and we've worked out any kind of a potential area where there might be weaknesses in the actual design. So that, is actually a very progressive move for us. Once the pilot plant's done, it moves us into a different category where just about all the risk is taken out of the project. Now, we know we can get 100% of all the metals, but we just want to show that we can do it on a continuous basis where there's no interruption, and that it'll flow just like any other processing plant on a steady basis 24/7. So Cometco is beginning the work on that. They've developed a program. They've assigned the various scientists to various parts of it. And we are anxiously looking forward to getting that on the road, as I know that they're working on it now. And we'll have progress reports coming out over the next year. So that's a good thing. I was hoping that we would close the financing. We've got the application in, so I expect that to close in the next little while. And but it was successful, and that's all I can really say about that at this time. But the biggest thing right now that's out there on the radar is the general markets. You're looking at weakness in the Dow. It's certainly tariffs that are being proposed by the government in the U.S. by Trump are affecting the markets in a negative way and affecting some of their partners in a negative way. But this is nothing new. I mean, the U.S. has been putting up tariffs. We used to have a tariff on manganese back when we were working on it, where there was actually I think a 15 or 20% tariff on any imports of electrolytic manganese metal or dioxide. And, that was, the world worked around that. So I don't see that as a big thing. But what about the U.S. market? Well, it's still in a correctional stage. It started here about a month ago. And, I don't see anything serious coming out of it. I mean, you can see some down spikes. We can see some stocks weakening. But, anybody that's got a real good project shouldn't suffer that long for it. That takes me on to one of my favorite subjects, which I used to write a newsletter on, called the Fundamentals of the Metal Commodity Market. And, the fundamentals are still not really out there, but we're seeing things like we're seeing copper going down, nickel going down. Certainly gold has been going down, and it's like everything's stopped. And I don't see that being as a sustainable situation because in reality, there's going to be shortages of everything. There's no new copper mines coming on, certainly no new cobalt mines coming on. There are going to be lithium mines coming on, but that all takes time. And I think some of the actual perceptions out there that lithium is going to be cut in half here by 2020 in price. I don't see that happening. I think the demand is just going to keep going, and we're going to see electric vehicles are going to be coming off the assembly line in the millions. And of course, the rest of the world, where we use lithium and cobalt for handheld devices and cell phones and those types of storage batteries, you name it, they're only going to grow too. I mean, the world is changed. We're into an electronic world. We're into a world where we're substituting the old power sources to new battery power sources, and that's not going to change. That's just going to put more pressure on these metals. So there's going to be a lot of money spent in that regard, in exploration, and developing processes, and eventually putting mines into production. So I think that we're in a good spot. And that's just my take on it. We were it was pretty accurate in our fundamentals of the commodity market, which we published for a little over 3 years. And when the fundamentals left, which is when the financials took over the pricing of commodities, you've seen it in gold, you see it in copper, and certainly it affects everything. It affects the long-term planning. It affects everything when you're trying to put a mine into production. But we're trying to put a different type of a mine into production. We're going to be mining batteries. The one thing we don't have to do is go out and drill for resources. We know how much cobalt, how much manganese, how much lithium is in each battery. So that's a resource that you can calculate with a computer. You don't have to put drills on the ground or feet on the ground. And so, we're looking at a huge opportunity for the company. We can get a commercial plant going. We've got interest in people that may want to be involved in putting the commercial plant together. We'll see how that develops. I certainly don't count on anything like that. We count on the company's management here to make sure that this project rolls ahead. And when I think about what the cost is going to be for a small commercial plant compared to what like our Moly project, which was $750 million, our manganese project was $500 million, and we did raise tens of millions in the manganese. We raised hundreds of millions in the molybdenum. So we have experience in that, and I think that we're looking at the way the company's going to go on developing their progress. We're certainly looking at licensing as probably the biggest motivator out there. And for example, if you're a battery manufacturer and you want to, and you have the responsibility from the EV cars that you sell the batteries to do something with the product on recycling, you may want to, I think it only make real good sense to have a small commercial plant licensed for your operation. And that would be cash to the company and some kind of a royalty. But that's the way we're looking at moving ahead on that. So this is just a general mishmash of things that we are thinking about in here, which represents maybe about 10% of what we think about in here. And but you have to watch all these things to make sure that you're in the now when it comes to moving a project ahead. So I guess the thing is that we would just like to say, hey, we're on the move again. There's going to be a steady news flow coming out, and we've got super interest out there. So let's just watch for the press releases, and the progress reports as we move this project through the chute. That said and done, I wish everybody a great weekend. It's a little wet out here again, but that's better than snow. And that's probably all I have to say at this point, Jim, unless you have any questions.
Larry, where is American Manganese traded, under what symbols, and how can they contact you?
American Manganese is traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. It's traded under the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF, and it's traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. And we have a website out there where we have a lot of information that people can go to, AmericanManganeseInc.com. If they want to have direct contact, they can email me at lreaugh, L-R-E-A-U-G-H, at amymn.com, or give us a call here at 778-574-4444.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on March 2nd.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.